That depends. Like usually it's a agreement between you and the client.
Yeah.
So every photographer is different. Some photographer will make it very limited. Some photographer will add more. So it's very hard to say exactly how many. But generally, a whole wedding, if you do a whole day wedding, you want to provide at least maybe 400-500 photos around there.
How many?
400-500 photos.
400-500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people deliver more. Some people
Okay.
deliver less.
Okay.
But generally, about like a full wedding, like a full like from the day, morning to the night, at least 400-500.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's have a look at this. So we'll start. So these are all unedited photos, right? Unedited photos.
Unedited. Yeah.
Okay, good. So that is good exposure. I'm just gonna get rid of this.
Some of them they will be under or overexposed.
Yeah,
so-
that's fine. That's fine. We'll crap. This. Maybe I'll just delete it. Okay, go. All right. Let's have a look. So, yeah, this okay. This is fine.
Will you keep it like the whole picture, or would you just like crop it where the two stand of the flower
Yeah,
are?
yeah. I will try to make it more symmetrical for this image, because it's either you get the whole thing, with all the chairs, or you make it symmetrical, as
Okay.
symmetrical as you can. So crop here maybe, and then crop here. Okay, but I
Yeah.
mean this is okay. This is okay. This picture is okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. Always want to keep the horizon straight. So this part here, if there's a line at the end,
Okay.
you want to keep it
Mm.
straight. Okay, so that's the tip. But sometimes you can't. I mean, you may not notice it, but then in post production you can rotate it.
Yeah, you can adjust it.
Uh,
This one doesn't say much. To be
okay.
honest,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Okay. So this. Okay. Let's go next one. Yeah.
Here, Ida was just like trying the light and stuff because all the carpet, it's like all over the place, was windy. So.
Okay. So how about this photo here?
Doesn't say that much.
Are you just okay? So are these the photos that you are happy with, or just the photos?
Most of them, yes, except this
Okay.
one that I didn't see this carpet, so I might not keep
Okay.
it.
All right. So okay. Yeah. I mean, it's all right. Just a lot of shadows, so it may just make the photo a bit. Just more on the artistic side, so it can be subjective.
Okay.
So some people may like it, but if you want to judge it in a nice photo way, you can't really, because the people will say, oh, okay, the shadow is not really showing the full photos and it's cropped up here. Do you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
so when you do something like this, it's usually quite obvious that it's a product shot.
Okay.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So a product shot, usually the objective is to show the product, or to show what you are trying to present. Okay, so at the moment, this one is kind of like not sort of like presented the best as it can, because of maybe the lighting and the positioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would you position? Like maybe take the whole vase here as well, or?
First of all, yeah, I'll probably get the whole thing inside,
Okay.
and then the other thing is to look for the best lighting, because the light is obviously coming from that way,
Yeah.
not
it's like,
not this way. So if I was to take the photo from that side, then I can, all the flowers, you can see everything. You see some of the flowers here now is in the shade.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, there's a lot of guessing, like what is this, Of course, if you want to make this like a mysterious thing, an artistic thing, then you can do whatever to it, But then if you want to do it like, say, for the client, about their flowers on the day, maybe this is not what they will probably prefer to see the whole flower,
Yeah.
because obviously the flower is the main thing.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I get it. Yeah.
All right. Next one. Yeah, this is better because you can see more of the flowers.
A little bit more detail.
Yeah, and then maybe this is in the shadow, but then it's I think it's better than the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. This is okay. Yes. It's okay. So when you want to do something like artistic, it has to be visually appealing. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes some things you can't. There's two types of photos, right? One is like content based, which means that the content itself speaks for itself. So you don't really have to make it look extra good or anything, but because the content is important, then it just, what I mean? Like sometimes you see pictures of paparazzi taking shots of the celebrity. It's not the best photo, right? Like the paparazzis.
Yeah.
But the content is the thing that matters.
So in the case,
you
it
see?
will be
If they get the celebrity doing something like that is not like that's quite interesting,
yeah.
like maybe taking their shirt off or something, then it becomes like, oh, people are focusing on that
Yeah.
particular content.
Okay.
So that is content-based photography. Sometimes the exposure doesn't matter, the lighting, the technical part doesn't matter. It's all about capturing evidence or whatever the story is,
Okay.
journalistic. All right. Then the second type of photography is more artistic, pleasing, or nice to look at. You know what I mean? So, for example, like for example, like a flower, of in an event. Maybe it's not the most important thing, but if it's captured in a nice way, then people will say, "Oh, that's nice." Like that's a nice picture, rather than thinking of the content of the picture.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're doing this, it's going to be more of trying to make it look as good as possible.
Pleasant to the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in like looking like the design. It needs to be put in a way where it's appealing, or it says something. Because when you are shooting artistic stuff, it's not as obvious as if you were shooting something that is like a content.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then this is where you have to create the story with your skills or your angle or your lighting.
So this one, for example, doesn't say much.
I mean, this one is like, what I can see is, okay, the back flower is sharp, then this one is blur, but it doesn't say to me anything that is like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't say that, oh, it's quite interesting or it's quite pretty or nice, because the flowers is really far. And then, like, I don't know whether you focus on, see, if you focus the flower and then the background is blur, then at least it's like you're giving them something to see,
Okay.
and it says something. Oh, it's a beautiful flower, and then the background is so very nice and beautiful. Whereas this one is like, okay, the background is kind of nice, but I can't see it because it's quite far.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's sometimes it's hard to explain these things, but I'm just saying that that's how I view photography, and I feel that that's how a lot of photographers would use photography to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, this is better. Just that again, like the exposure. This is where you when you want to shoot something that is pleasant to the eye, it has to be technically complete. Which means that, okay, the exposure needs to be like like the back exposure should be the similar as the front exposure, so it looks appealing.
So you're saying that the background here, it's better if it's not blurred?
Oh no,
or-
it's not, as in not too bright, because now, okay, this is the subject, right?
Yeah.
But it's underexposed,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So, and that part is exposed correctly.
What if I would have exposed this one correctly and this one would have been overexposed then? Is it
Yeah,
correct?
then it'll be better.
Mm.
But if you overexpose, you expose this correctly, there's a chance of that maybe being super blown out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where you have to sort of like work out whether is that pleasant to the eyes. Will that look nice? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Because now you're trying to, every photo that you put out, you are actually selling yourself. As in, like, I am creating this, I'm putting this out because I'm trying to say this.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
something that is very obvious, like the bride cutting the cake or something. That you don't really have to do much because that's the content.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
You just get the exposure correct and not shooting in the bad angle. That's fine. But when you're doing something like this, there's not much content there, but you are creating. It's your job to create the art, the content.
Yeah.
And when
okay.
you're creating the art, it has to be appealing. It has to be exposed, or it has to be done so that when you look at a photo or anyone look at the photo, be like, oh, they'll want to look at it more.
Mm-mm. Because here, obviously, I would have done a little bit of editing and I would have like highlighted this part, like lifting
Yeah.
and changing the light. So it would have been obviously been more in light and
Yeah.
would have had more attention.
Okay. So, yeah. So usually, when we do photo reviews, yeah, I prefer like you do all your editing.
Okay.
Because then when I comment on it,
You
I know
can-
you finished the photo.
The final
Not like
work.
oh yeah, halfway kind of thing, and then
Okay.
then it's hard for me to say whether you are doing this. You know what I mean? Because raw
Yeah.
photos are usually not finished photos
Yeah.
unless you take it correctly and you are happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, as I mentioned, this one unfortunately they're not edited and
Yeah. Okay. So like say for example, if we edit this now, you see you increase the brightness, right?
yeah, I would have done not that bright, maybe just
Yeah.
slightly, just something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have warmed it up just slightly,
Like
something
this.
like this.
Yeah.
And I think that will be it. Maybe changing the white slightly towards the left, just a little bit,
This,
just
yeah.
something like that. It
Yeah.
gets like a little bit more
Yeah. Yeah.
tone, and I believe this one should be it for me.
Okay. So
Kind of.
yeah, so you can add contrast as well, add more definition like that if you want. Then there's also vibrance. You can add more color if you want. So I mean, and then again, as I said, this is subjective. You know what I mean? So, okay, what we do is we go through the photos that probably don't need much editing, and then we can speak about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's go. Okay, so that's similar to the other one.
This one I wanted to capture a little bit the view of the lake.
Okay, yeah. See, I think if you capture it higher, because usually, you want to, okay, I'm just being honest, right? So,
Yeah, of course,
so,
I have to.
So if I take a photo like this, I would not include this ground here,
Okay.
because what do you want people to see, right? You want to see, we know we are in the balcony. If we do this, we know we are in the balcony, right? So the objective of photography is to show more of what you want to tell people and
Yeah.
less of what that's not important.
Okay.
Okay? Is this any important at all?
Not really.
Yeah. So I would shoot it a bit higher, even like more of the blue sky, so beautiful sky, like just higher angle or even closer, and then just cut off this part here. Do you know what I mean?
Like if you try to crop it, sorry if I try to, if you put it like this, you mean?
Yeah.
Just something like this?
Yeah, a bit higher. Yep, yep, and then
Like close to the flowers?
yeah, no, I mean like somewhere around there. That's fine, but not showing the floor.
Something like this?
Yeah, then maybe
Okay.
more of the sky.
More sky. Okay.
Can you see the difference?
Yeah, it's more pleasant to the
Yeah,
eye.
because who wants to look at the floor, right? Unless it's like something
It's
really.
not even nice
Yeah, exactly.
to
Is it?
look at it. So
And it's understood as well. They know you're standing on the floor. You know what? But unless the floor is like really, that's the feature or something like beautiful, like really, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So I'm just trying to get your mind to understand how to maximize the impact of your photography. More, less is more.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is part of the decoration, I guess.
Yeah,
Decoration,
this one they
yeah.
were close to the. I guess it's in the next one. No, it was close to the notes. There was like a little box close to it, just on this side. It's
Yeah.
like in the next pictures.
Yeah. So yeah, it's to say you need to create some sort of if there's a box next to it, maybe include the box or make you want to make this a feature, then you want to shoot it at a different angle maybe. You know, maybe just to make it look more interesting. You know what I mean?
Like this is just like candles, put it there, and they
Yeah.
doesn't say much. Okay.
Yeah. So and then yeah. Is this testing or is this the final?
I would like. It wasn't that bad to me eventually. Like maybe cut it here, just like this, to get more the attention on the. But still, I don't like this, so maybe I would have cropped it here. But then there isn't enough room between the necklace and the right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so another thing about again back to photography concept. If this is what you want to show, when you put two beautiful flowers next to it, is the first thing I see in this picture when you show me is the flowers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I have to look more, you know, like as in closely
Like,
to know that.
search for it,
Then when
yeah.
you say, "Oh, I want to show," then only I know. You know, so photography is about not having to explain. You know, when you're taking the photo, you have to try and do it in the picture so that the person will know that, oh, she's trying to feature the necklace. Do you know what I mean? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Because now, I mean, ask anyone and they'll say, oh yeah, the flowers, you know, and then they'll say, the second thing is that why do you crop the flowers that way? You know, they will ask this question. All right? And then as I said, just said that less is more.
Because I wanted like to frame the necklace, so I would have just like cropped it here a little bit, and the necklace would have been like framed between the two flowers.
Yeah, I think I know what you're trying to do, but at the same time, okay, photography is capturing images, right? But you're creating photos, you have to also use a lot of thinking, as in like whether something will work or not. You know, because that is what it is. You know, photography is about visual.
Yeah.
So, for example, say, if you want a woman, for example, if you want a woman to look really slim, right? But she's kind of like she's. This is just an example, right? And she's not very slim. She's like just like
A little bit
average,
round,
average,
okay.
average. Okay. Would you put her with the bridesmaid? Would you put her like, if that's your objective? Would you put her next to like very skinny ladies, or would you put her with maybe bigger ladies?
Well, in this case, with bigger ladies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to explain. Photography is something like this.
So see, but I wouldn't thought about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's why I'm teaching. Like
Yeah.
this is part of the lesson. It's all about people look, because when we are looking, our mind is processing. Oh, this thing is so, like, so big or so small, depending on what we see. Or this thing is so beautiful, or this thing is so. If there's a big diamond, then it's different. You know what I mean? Like then it will sparkle and it will just catch the attention. But if it's a small, tiny, little small thing, you put next to two big, attractive flower. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this is something that we learn as I grow with photography. This is what I learn. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
all relative. Everything is relative. You want to make a car look good, you don't put it next to like a Ferrari and a Lamborghini, then the car will look shit, even though it's like a new car. It's all relative. That's the beauty about. That's where the photographer needs to be like thinking of how can I make this better than it seems.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got the point.
Yeah, you got the point.
But at the time, I don't know, because maybe their first
That's fine. That's fine.
pictures are-
It's
I
your.
just,
It's your.
like,
I know. But
kind
this
of
is.
freeze, and it's just like I don't think about all this.
That's fine. That's fine. But this is why we have these sessions. You know what I mean? Because then you can go back and then you think, oh yeah, that's true what David say. Like, then in the future, you have this in your mind,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's fair enough.
Okay, good. If I'm not talking any sense, tell me no too.
Of course.
Okay. Okay, this is nice.
This is horrible. Seriously. No. Like.
Yeah, I know the all the things around,
Okay.
but this is what we have to work with a lot of weddings. Very few weddings. I mean, well, there are some like expensive ones or really organized people that will make the place look really good for the photographer.
Because this is the first one, and the pictures they've been through,
Yeah,
the room is the how do you call it? How is called this process when the bride is like getting ready at the
preparation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything looks organized, clean. It's just like beautiful. And when we went there, I was like, oh my god. So I wasn't expecting all this.
Yeah.
So obviously I didn't see the
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And
this is
now
very
I
normal.
kind of-
This is very normal. Yeah, I encounter this all the time. But this is where we need to, again, like try and focus on the main thing and just zoom in or crop off, or position that somewhere else. This is where we come in as a wedding photographer.
So here, for example, I just tried to get whole of it. So eventually, I thought when I have to crop it, I
Yeah.
will have more
Room to crop.
range or room
Yeah.
to crop.
Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously possible to crop it and just get the, maybe, if you get the thing a bit back more,
The
then you
shoes
go
more close
yeah,
to the
yeah.
dress.
Okay, but I mean, that's about the right angle for wedding dress. Yeah, this is another way as well, just to.
Yeah, but I would have cropped this one because it's not important to me,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example. So
yeah.
I would have done it
Yeah,
more
I know.
sort of like this,
Yep.
and cropping this one as well, so it wouldn't be like something like this maybe.
Yeah. Maybe just a bit like that. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, you would do something more like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's good to have this, like the flowers sharp and then the background blur. This would be quite acceptable. obviously you want to position.
Acceptable.
I mean, yeah, that's
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
yeah, but obviously you want to position it more strategically so you don't crop it off like more of the whole flower, and then yeah. But this is okay, and then
I don't really like this picture,
Yeah.
but I was like, I wanted to capture the shoes in somehow, but if
Yeah.
I crop here, there is just the shoes, put it there like
Yeah.
by themselves alone, they don't say much.
so this one you can shoot from the top.
Okay.
So you just get the map and forget about that. Just the shoes, just the shoes.
How happens that in the pictures that I have, so they have like rings, perfume, invitation, they like organize this beforehand with the bride, or just at the
No.
moment they just
At
get
the moment,
every-
we just do it.
Okay.
We just see what they have, and then we create something beautiful, put it together. I didn't do it that day because it was just.
They
they're-
didn't
they're-
even want to
they're-
take pictures at
Yeah,
that
exactly,
time,
exactly.
so-
This was just a bonus, like because they said, oh, you can come in if you have time, and again, this is not like a big budget wedding.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I just mainly did it because for you as well. So like if it's a bigger budget, usually they would be more organized, and also I would, and like this is just an extra bonus for them. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
But it's just like to understand who has the rings.
Now, usually it's funny because some people, the bride has the ring, the engagement ring, and sometimes the groom would have the ring. So like depends.
So how am I supposed to organize a nice picture with the rings if I would like to create something?
This is where before the preparation,
Okay.
before like the agreement, like you ask them, what kind of photos do you like, and then they'll maybe send you some pictures of all this, like all the rings and the flowers and stuff. Say, okay, so can we have all this in the bride's room?
Okay.
And because
Yeah.
then you can say, okay, this is what they want, then or you can even suggest and say, look, would you like me to do like pictures of rings and stuff? If you do, please have this in the bride's maid or the bride's.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes we just capture as it is. Like say some clients are not very particular, and they say, oh yeah, just whatever, like a lot of clients like this client. Then you just capture the best. If they have the ring there, then we use the ring. If there's no ring there, then
Okay.
too bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Okay, so I know you were just shooting this because I was shooting, so you can
I
get
was
it.
like basically
Yeah.
under your arms in there, like
Yeah.
armpits everywhere, just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
good shoot. So those
Yeah.
ones they might be not the
Yeah.
best, and they are a little bit underexposed. So I will have
Yeah.
to fix the exposure.
Yeah, so maybe the next time if you want, you can just fix the ones that you want to fix, and then we can go through them as well. Okay. So good. You can see this is like very tight, so we didn't have much room. But I just have the window like to work with, and then the flash as well. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this is nice. This is one more candid shot. Yeah. So this is something that they were like. Yeah.
In this case, would you? It doesn't. It's not really pleasant, right? Like.
I'll do both, like one full like that, and then one close. I did both, so like I got some of him and one without him.
Okay, but if I will just like to deliver this picture, because maybe I like the lights, I will fix it and stuff.
Yeah,
The kid.
you can delete it. Just
Okay.
delete it because it's
Okay.
obviously
It doesn't-
distraction. Yeah,
Okay.
distraction. Yeah. So make sure you get everything in.
And they had.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I understand this short part is because I was shooting, so you can't really.
Do you find them a little bit grainy? Like if you zoom, because it looks to me.
Yeah, because you're ISO 1000, and you're shooting at 16,000.
And with the settings, I was like all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. That's why it's very important to just go through the basics again and again. Like when you go outside, just straight away think, okay, your ISO needs to go down, because if not, you're going to get grainy stuff. Oops, let's fit in. Okay. Yeah.
See it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that grainy, but obviously outside you want to get your eyes, like you should take 16,000. You don't need that, you know what I mean?
Because if I change the ISO, obviously even the shutter would have been,
Yeah.
different.
First of all, it's a portrait. You know she's not running, she's not jumping, so it should maximum 250, 200. Then you adjust your ISO accordingly. Right? That's simple, very simple. Always look at what you're doing. Shooting a portrait. Is he running? Is he jumping? No. Okay. Standing, 250, 200, 160 is fine.
Like here, maybe. So this one, the shutter could be even lower because she's just like there, static, no moving.
No, that's pretty good. I mean, that 125 is good because even though she's standing like that, sometimes maybe she might just eyes closed, with just like slight movement.
Blinking, okay.
So that's safe. That's safe. You know, you might you can go a bit higher. It's safer, but it's fine. You can shoot at f2.8. You don't need f4. F4 is a bit. I mean, for 2470, it's a lot of depth of field. You know, so you don't need that big small aperture.
Okay.
But this is what you need to do every time when you done like a shoot. Go through them and then just analyze the photo and see, do I need to shoot at f4? Do I need to shoot at? Is that right? You know.
Like I intentionally sort of use this aperture because I wanted to have less blur, just like try to capture as much as I could to have it like.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Do you think it would have been nicer eventually even?
Well, I mean, even at 2.8, you get this. Not as usually the 2.8 will get really blur if you're shooting a long lens.
Yeah.
This one is a 2470 and you're shooting at 33. So when you're shooting at a wide angle, it's going to be more space anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the things that you try to get used to.
Okay.
Give me 5 seconds. Let me just see whether if this line is coming. Okay, perfect. Next one.
Sorry, I was just.
That's okay. Good. Yeah. So back this one. Yeah. Yeah, so this one, I guess, you see how I'll share my photo next week, but how where I place her, I always try to match the railings. Anyway, you see in my next photo, I will try to make it so it's like a leading line and the position is, like where she's standing I think is good, very good for a bride to present herself.
Because you were like more of a eye level, like more lower, just like shooting.
Yeah.
In this case, I was just. But it's not an excuse, but.
No. I'm just saying that why I positioned her like that. Yeah,
Okay.
next to the bright light, and I was doing another shoot because we shot one next to the window, but I just wanted to do another one because I can see a lot of potential photos here.
And if eventually she would have been just like in the middle and just like trying to get the whole corridor as a leading line, could have been fun anyway.
That could be. There's a lot of ways to shoot there.
Okay.
Because it's so like nice with all the pillars. It's like all leading lines. Yeah. See, even the doors and the windows are all black. So like it's matching black and white. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe just like cropped here, so there is like less.
I wish it facing up a bit more.
Okay.
Show more of the blue sky, and then maybe this one, but then face up a little, so it's a bit more like grander,
Okay.
rather than shooting. I mean, it's okay. It's just that you get more flow.
And would you present a picture like this to the couple?
Yeah. This is more. This is more content.
Okay.
So you have to identify between content and artistic. Okay, so this can be very good content because there's a story here. You know, he's waiting, everybody's waiting, everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's telling a story, it's
Okay.
obvious. Unless you take it like this, then it's like you break the photo, you know, but as long as you capture it, telling the story, it's fine. Doesn't
Okay.
matter all the shadows or that, but that's part of the story.
Yeah.
But as I say, if you want to make it better, you can shoot a bit more of a higher angle, so then you got less of the floor. Because now, most of what I see is the floor and a little bit of the sky, and he's very far, you know what I mean? Whereas if I shoot it like that, then, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's more the people and the sky and the...
Because the floor anyway, it's not important.
Doesn't
so
say
it-
anything.
It's taking more
Yes,
attention and space in the
it's
picture.
just wasted space, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then
Okay.
you get this as well, and just that, which is not important, you know. So, okay, let's see. Okay, good. You adjusted your thing here. Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay. So this is good as well. This is content. So he can see that. Seems like he's crying, but he's not really crying. But it's just like hot.
It was really
Yeah, I know.
bright.
But this is like content, you know. So, of course, yeah, this is fine. Then the rest of this, like I guess when you shoot this part, obviously you can make it brighter, but it's more content. You know what I mean? You want to just make sure that you get everything in.
Yeah.
So, like these are the important part. These are not the important parts. You know? See, this is good. Okay, so maybe that.
You know that I've noticed that I don't know if it can become my thing, like sort of signature, but I always crop the feet. Always like this. There is always a little thing,
Yeah.
a little piece that is missing.
Yeah, but most people do that at the start.
Okay.
Like even if even a lot of my students, I would tell them that's at the beginning, because at the beginning there's too many things for you to think about. You know, sometimes you're trying to capture that, then you don't see the details. You know, whereas people are more experienced, they'll be like, oh, okay, I already got the main thing. I just want to check, make sure everything else is
All
okay.
around.
Then you know, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. You can't do anything with the hair.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really
but this
weird.
is part of the story. You know what I mean?
What about you? I will, because this is you, I guess.
Yeah.
I
know.
In this case, is it okay?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it gets more slim then.
Well, you can either or, because I'm part of the story as well. You know, like capturing the whole thing. So
Okay.
the thing is, because when this whole content is happening, it's like the story is happening. You know, so even if you capture some other people's face reacting or something, it's part of the story, right?
That's yes, because
Yes.
like the guests
Yeah, yeah.
and it's
It's all part of the wedding.
but I don't know if eventually like the photographer it's like not part of the family of the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the photography. It's more of an external thing.
Yeah.
That if it's not appearing in the pictures, I would prefer it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
for
yeah.
my wedding
yeah,
eventually.
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, photographers usually like the production team. Sometimes it can be part of the story. Sometimes, but most of the time you want to not include the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is good.
In this case, the floor should be fine because like it's the leading line for her to work towards. I guess that's
Yeah.
I will see it. Then I don't know.
Let me see. We did okay. So with this one, I mean, it's a good shot, but I will also do one like this.
Like more wide.
Yes, because you stand, you see everybody looking at her.
Yeah.
You
That's
know what I mean?
true.
Whereas this one is like you think only maybe this person and this people. You know, where's the people? You know, like you. That's the question you come. But it works well if it's just like maybe just like a narrow one. Yeah, it works. It's just have another option of everybody too. Then it looks
Yeah.
like, oh, so many people come. It's a story, right? Yeah. So. Oh, what's this guy doing there?
Yeah, seriously, this needs to be also adjusted there, like. This picture, for example, I wouldn't use unless I try to delete him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I
Yeah.
wouldn't use it.
Yeah. I know sometimes you get these people walking in front of the thing, man. Like they just don't think about the. Yeah, I know it's a bit tight. Yeah, this is the classic shots. Yeah, it's good. This is fine.
Would you erase the key? No, because it's part of the story.
Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah, part of the story.
Okay.
Yeah, part of the story. Yeah. Just they choose the worst time to take a photo as well. So
Would you erase like a little bit closer so you don't see him and his leg, but then
yeah, this shot you just want it to be just the four of them.
yeah.
Like yeah. Or either that, or you go back a bit more, get a bit more of a few people, and then at least you got like another more story. Okay, so this part needs to be straightened.
This one as well.
Yeah. So hot. So hot.
Look at this lady.
Yeah.
Her head was cooking, was boiling, melting.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one, for example, like this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. You see that when you see my photos next week, a lot of the pictures I would think it's almost like I don't have to edit so much, because then I don't want to spend time cropping and imagine you have to do that for 300, 400 photos.
that's why I ask you how many
Yeah.
pictures usually you deliver.
That's why sometimes I can give more than what people expect because I don't have to edit so much, and a lot of them are fine, especially if it's content. Yeah, this is all content. So if you zoom in a bit more, I think at the 53, you can go to 70, and then you get rid of that, and you maybe get a bit higher, and you get the whole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just them like that, yeah. 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 That is good. Yeah, this content, good. Bringing kids to a wedding, man. Seriously, it's
They
the
were all over the place.
poor thing. It's so damn hot for them as well. Super hot. Yeah, so this is content as well. All this stuff is good. Good positioning. Yeah, straightened stuff. And then the rest is just content, which is capturing it. Yeah, capture it fine.
Because then all the wedding was about this. They didn't want to have pictures taken and stuff, so.
Yeah. But they did have the group photo. Yeah, this is where you need to use flash, I suppose, like in the shade. Yeah. Yeah. So when they start doing all this stuff, you just have to use the long lens and just try to capture moments. Like moments like that. I mean, the short lens is fine as well, but obviously long lens you have more reach.
Which I will use after, because after I use the.
Yeah.
7200.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah. It's better.
And here I swapped it to and
Yeah. Yeah, but this is it's a really hard time to shoot in that lighting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really harsh.
So basically, all the shadows on their faces, like, do we have to accept it, or there is like a
Yeah, I
way?
mean the thing is good thing is content, and it's also their choice.
Okay.
So we're just capturing the moment. You choose the time, you choose the location.
Mm-hmm.
We can't really do. I mean, it's not our job to change the. We can't change the light or the condition, because
Yeah.
that's your wedding, right? So the only thing we can do is just make the best out of the situation. Yeah.
So for this type of wedding, would you deliver this type of picture, or it's like more something? I'm curious to
Yeah.
see yours, like just to have an
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. I will show you next week. And, yeah. So remember, it's all, but during this wedding, it's all about it's just group shots and just like little catch up or stories and like people mingling, just happiness, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's doing good. Oh yeah, this is the.
I couldn't get everything because my lens it's not wide enough.
You got to go further back. You got to go further back. further
But
back.
for the back there were like all the chairs and mess around.
That's why I step on the chair, on top. Because even if you go far back, you can't take the shot deep at the back.
Mm.
You have to be higher.
Mm-mm-mm.
Sometimes I'll bring a ladder.
And what lens did you use here?
16, 35, 16 to 35.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, so this one's here. It's very important to position, so we position and shooting where as well, make sure all the shade is on the face if possible. Because if not, you get like part lights. Sometimes it's okay, but yeah, see, so I position them all in the shade. The face is in the shade.
Mm-mm.
So you can edit, when you edit them later, you can bring out the light from their face.
Yeah, that's true.
If not, then it's harder. Like one exposed.
Like for example, all
Yeah.
those ones.
Yeah, so this is good. Got the product shot. Mm-hmm.
This lady really captured my attention because I have plenty of pictures.
Exactly. Well, you can see the reason why, right? Because she's the only one that's dark skinned.
Okay, but then she wears like nice
Yeah,
colors.
I know. Okay, but a lot of the ladies there also wear quite nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's all relative thing, because everyone is white and she's dark, and then she
Okay.
stands out.
Okay.
You know,
yeah,
this-
maybe.
Yeah, it's always the case. It's always the case.
Mm.
I'm just saying that this is how visually we see as photographers.
Okay.
It will stand out.
And then orange is my favorite color, so she was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there you go. Touches your art. Okay. Mhm. Yeah. So something like this is good, but just have the whole picture. You don't need her in here.
Okay,
This
and
type.
more into the
These
okay.
two communicating. All these are just background. And when you're doing single picture, unless if they are interacting with somebody, then you want to capture that as well. Because like, if she's just doing that and then there's like emptiness, then people be thinking, what's the story there?
Okay. Yeah.
You know
What
what
is
I
she
mean?
doing?
Yeah, why is she like
Why
this?
is she smiling?
Why is she like that? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Even though it may be a good photo, unless it's a nice photo of her smiling or just looking, doing something that doesn't make you question why is she doing that?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because here, obviously, she's interacting. She's
Yes.
doing something what we
Talking.
don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just cut the story short because obviously like similar to that as well. Yeah. This is all right. Yeah.
See, this was the box that I told you.
Yeah.
And those are the candles.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is like interaction, so you can see that okay, they're friends and they're talking about something,
Okay.
so it makes more sense. Yeah, this is cool. Yep, it's good. See, when you take this, it's again disconnected. You need to take him taking somebody else. Then it's like, at least
Yeah.
it makes sense. Okay, this is artistic. That's good.
In this case, would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So weird for her to bring her kids everywhere in the wedding. You know what I mean? Like, it's just hard for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard for them. It's hard for us. It's
And
hard for
she
the kid.
wasn't relaxed at all. She was really tense on her
Of
wedding.
course, you have your
Yeah.
kids like running around and they're so young and they don't know what they're doing and they could be, doing something injured themselves. Of course, you'll be so stressed. And then doesn't allow them to enjoy and relax and also let us take more photos.
Yeah.
She'll be like, think about the kids, or the kids, yeah. So, yeah, so that's nice. The hand's not cut off.
See?
Why are you shooting at 110? You could go 70. Remove that. Yeah. If you want to do something like this, you can, but get this on this side.
Because obviously they're suffocating here. They need more room.
Yeah,
'cause
they're looking at
towards-
something. So
okay.
most of the shots will be. This one is like like it's just doesn't make sense.
Maybe because there was someone here, so I didn't want to have the head.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah. That is good. That's good.
I don't know if it's my impression, but I've noticed that I really struggle to have things in focus with my 50 millimeters.
You have what?
Like focus, I'm struggling to have the subject in focus and sharp with the 50 millimeters. They're like most of the time blurry. So I don't know if it's the lens
Okay.
or because when I use this one, most of the time everything is nice and
Yeah.
sharp.
Because what were you shooting at 1.8, 1.4?
No, even like 2.8, 2.5. Because I've tried to do a shooting with my flatmate. We just had a little bit of fun at the train station.
Yeah.
But they were like a mess. I will show you next
Some
time.
some lens have issues with focusing.
And I also check which is the range
Yeah.
for the 50 mil to
Yeah,
get. It's just like
So shoot it in manual. Change to manual focus.
I never tried that.
Yeah, because manual focus, you can just set it exactly where you want it. It's not going to move.
Okay.
Use the ring.
Unless the subject moves, right?
Yeah, of course.
The subject has to be really
yeah,
okay.
like steel or somewhere, just at the particular area.
Okay.
Because some 50mm lens may not have the best autofocus, or the camera may not speak to the lens the best.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I will try to.
Yeah. That is nice. I like this. Very, this is artistic.
Yeah, obviously here I try to tell the story. They're
Yeah.
holding their hands in love, and then I liked also those white things.
Yeah, that's good. This is nice as well. This background, this blur and stuff, the light. And did you do a whole picture or just
I guess just
that?
I don't know if forward like.
Okay. So this is good, but
What happened?
you should do some portrait stuff, because this is like really typical portrait position. Because what you do is like half the head, half the body, half the head, half the body.
Okay. Maybe because there was someone in the seriously I had
Yeah.
you and the other two person and the space was quite narrow, so I just like couldn't.
Yeah, okay, I understand. It's part of weddings. Sometimes you get people that is not even photographers trying to take photos, like the
Okay.
mom or some uncle or something, and they just come. And this is where you have to say, excuse me, like, can you, we are doing the official photos,
Okay.
you
But obviously I had to leave you guys the priority.
Yeah, of course, yeah, I know.
and,
I'm just telling you that
but next time,
there's normal weddings.
I
I get a
can-
lot of that shit as well. Like people just bring a camera and they're like, I want to come in and take photos. I'm like,
Okay, yeah.
get out of here, man. But this is a good moment. This is a good moment. The whole, it's still good. This here.
Here, maybe I should have get this whole thing, right?
I think if you do it this way, you get the sunset, the color of the sky. At this time of the day, the color is very nice. Like this pink or some color, and this would be such a good shot. Because you don't need this, you don't need all this part. You want to get the whole
Yeah, the
the
background
whole
in
thing,
the back,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. You see the color of the sky here is beautiful.
Here, I really struggled with the settings because it was already dark,
Yeah.
and the rest of the picture they're really orange.
That was
And
what's the white balance?
I don't remember. The white balance must.
Auto? Was it auto?
No,
Okay.
I.
No, look, this is a nice color because it's sunset.
Ah, okay.
It's sunset. You know what I mean? That's the sunset color.
Okay, because also what? Because sometimes I talk to Eva and she's obsessed with yellowish. She's just like no at all. So I have this complex there. It's too yellow, too orange.
No. I mean, look. If you want to capture the moment, if the time, the color, like the sunset color is always warm,
Yeah.
yellow, So I spoke to her about this as well. I say, look, it will look weird if you're taking a shot in the sunset and everything looks like it's not sunset time.
Yeah, okay.
It looks like, like middle of the day.
As long as it's acceptable,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy with that because
Yeah.
it's like nice and warm
Yeah.
and I like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I mean, as I said, so photography is about. It's not always to be like having everything perfect, correct. It's also art. It's also art, right? And this is storytelling. How can you tell a story if the color is wrong when you're capturing in a different time of the day?
It's not true to the
Yeah,
moment you're
yeah,
capturing. Yeah,
yeah.
I understand what you mean.
People like sunset, like colors, you know, like so that's fine, you know, that's fine. Yeah.
And here the ISO maybe, is it too high, do you think? Is it like,
Yes.
or still?
It's okay. I think it's still okay. It's a bit high. Yeah, it's a bit high. Yeah, but it was getting dark. You know, it was getting dark. Maybe you could shoot to 2.8.
I also heard in a podcast that sometimes people they make picture grainy, where if you have some noise in
Yeah.
picture because of the ISO, it's already grainy, so it gives the effect. It
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, they do. Yeah, I mean that's one way to get away with grainy photos, to make it look like it's supposed to be grainy. Because in the past, when we use film, it's even more even more easy to get grain. When you shoot a more sensitive film, you will see the grain, and it creates that whole old school kind of feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people love it. It's like, oh, it's so
I
cool.
love it,
Yeah.
for
So
instance.
there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean?
So in this case, if I have pictures nice and clean, no grain, and then in top of I deliver the evening, the sunset, but the grainy, is that okay? Or they're not
Yeah.
matching, there is no a
Depends
balance with-
depends on the situation. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause some people's style is all grainy. All their photos they just do grainy.
Yeah, but in this case,
Yeah.
for me, it would be mixed.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you can do mix. Yeah,
is it okay?
yeah, of course.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
It's okay as long as it fits the situation. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
You left at this point, but
Yes.
the guy was crying like a baby. This one, he was just like
Really?
he was a little bit drunk, but he was just
Oh, okay.
crying. He was really emotional.
So in situations like this, see everybody's looking. Yeah, so it's good you got a shot like that. But I don't know why you add that. Maybe you should get more of the crowd looking at him.
Maybe because there was the filmmaker guys, and they told me like you have to be just in this corner, and maybe I couldn't go any further because they were filming. There were lights, and there was the whole setup
okay.
for the filming.
Okay, and then maybe do some like zoom in, like maybe like this, like portrait,
Okay.
to zoom big, especially when he's crying. Very important to capture that emotion. Okay.
Here the same thing, like more cropped in here and more space on the other side.
And maybe go behind the film people and go to the other side to capture this side as well. Because, yeah.
See, here I love this lightning because the guys they had like the
Yep.
whole setup and
Yep.
they helped me a lot.
Yes. That's good. Yeah, there's a flash. Oh, nice. That's a nice. Good. Okay. Not bad. Just need to know those changes, and you should be alright. Improve. But again, just capture everything. Yeah. Just keep that in your mind.
Something that I realized is that with my camera, I noticed that to have more of a composition, best composition,
Yeah.
it's to look through the screen
Yeah.
instead of here.
For you?
Yeah, because here I see the subject, I focus on the subject in the focus, and I lose a little bit of attention
Oh,
what's around.
okay.
Where here I kind of have everything,
Okay.
and I understand more what.
Yeah. Just do what works for you, because everybody is different, and some people they they work differently
Mm-hmm.
with how they see things. So yeah, try that, and then if it works, why not?
But the point is that I don't have the eye focus. So as long as a situation changes or someone moves, I have to readjust the focus all the time, and it's really annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because obviously your camera, it's one of the last model mirrorless, and
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
eye.
yeah,
So even if the subject moves, the face, it's always sharp in focus. Here, it's a mess.
yeah. So you know how to use the. When I used to use this, you
Yeah.
know how to use the manual, like the focus, yeah.
So basically, I have this one that
Yep.
adjusts,
Yep.
but it's slow. It's not like having the reaction quick to capture the eye and the face. You know what I mean? If
Yep.
someone moves.
So
and-
usually, if it's something like this, they won't move so much.
yeah.
The focus is going to be there.
Mm-mm.
But if you're talking about people that are moving forward and back, that would be more. That would be more like, say, sports or running around kind of thing, right? You'll be capturing that's more like event, like movement kind of shot, like fashion or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I also tried. Where is?